Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? This is Brian here, and I'm out here enjoying this beautiful day. Um, since my last video, I've had a couple of questions, and I'm going to try to see if I can clear some stuff up for you. Um, First of all, I had a couple of questions about the memory cards. Um, the memory cards are not uh, quite that important. I mean, they're important, but they're not as important as you think. Um, the read speed, if I can recall right, the read speed is the amount of time it takes to transfer data from your card to your device you're putting it on, computer, laptop, iPad, whatever. Um, if I'm not mistaken, that is what the read speed is, and that's not as important as the write speed. The write speed is the amount of time it takes to transfer data onto the card. In other words, when you take a picture, the amount of time it takes to go from the camera to the memory card. Okay, now if you have a slow memory card, it's going to take longer and you're going to be frustrated because typically a photographer shoots 20 frames like a second on one particular thing. It's not just kind of you sit there and you take a picture like you see people do when you're on vacation. Somebody will walk up there with their phone and take a picture and then walk off. A professional photographer doesn't do that, and especially if you're doing something like, say, your kids, grandkids, or whatever, doing sports. Then you're not going to just take one picture. If they get a big hit in baseball and they're running the bases, I mean, you're not going to just take one picture. You're going to want to take all the pictures you can while they're doing that. So that's why you need a fast write speed. My card that I have, I'm not going to take it out because I've got my camera set up over here. I'm going to try to do some songbirds here in a minute. My camera, I can take 27 photos just holding the shutter button down, and I can take 27 photos before it hits the buffer. Now, what I mean by hitting the buffer is your camera will stop. It will have to stop because it has to wait for the data to be written onto the card. Okay, the faster your card is, the faster you're going to be able to go back to your camera and take pictures. When I first started out, I had a little SD card, just a cheap one that came with the kit, and I think I could take like 5 photos and it would stop, and then I would have to sit there for almost a minute before I could start using the camera again. So that's one reason I say to get you a faster card. Okay, now the lenses. Someone asked the difference between a prime lens and a kit lens. Okay, kit lenses typically are the lenses that come in your kit, and it's not that there's anything wrong with them, they're just cheap. Okay, they still take good pictures, but they're not going to take as good of pictures as a prime lens. Kit lenses can vary. Most of the time they vary from, like, this one's an 18 to 55, 70 to 300, something like that, 70 to 100. Most of them are their aperture is a little higher than you can get with a prime lens, and by that I mean probably you're not going to get under a 3.5 on your aperture with a kit lens. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're shooting like inside and it's a little darkish, or during low light situations, your kit lens is not going to do that well with that. You're going to have to bump your ISO up or use a flash. I particularly never use a flash. I just don't like the look that it gives, and plus you have a lot more editing to do to try to correct skin tone and sometimes you get a little red eye, a little glare in the eye, and this, that, and the other. But if you use high ISO, then you have noise and chromatic aberrations and all that stuff that you have to deal with. But that typically is a whole lot easier than dealing with the flash stuff, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that there may be people out there that swear up and down by flash photography, and that's okay. You know, it's just your thing, whatever you want. Okay, like I said, this is a kit lens. It's cheap. I've had this one probably 15 years or better. It takes great photos for like landscapes. That's mainly all I use it for, is landscape, because I can take my time, and if there's any imperfections, I can do it in post-processing. Okay. A prime lens is typically only one focal length. This one, the other one was 18 to 55. This one is just at 85 millimeter. That's one focal length. But the aperture on this one is 1.4. And this is an awesome lens for low light. You would have to start bumping your ISO up or slowing your shutter speed down. With the other lens, you can still keep going with this one. This one is great for, I think, astrophotography, I think is what they call it. Taking pictures of the stars, Milky Way, things like that. Night scenes, if you do night scenes, like in the city, and you go do street scenes, this is an awesome lens for that. Early morning, maybe you want to get up and go out and take some wildlife pictures. Awesome lens for that. But keep in mind, it don't have any reach, so you're gonna have to get a telephoto lens for that. Read your descriptions before buying anything. Most, as you probably are aware, most of them will give a description, and it will say like a prime lens on it, or something to that effect. These are made better. They're heavier. The difference between these two and the weight is like, I don't know, apples and oranges. Maybe apples and coconuts, I don't know, because this one's a whole lot heavier. These are made with a lot better material, a prime lens. They're made with better glass. 99% of the time, they are faster focusing, and they are super sharp. You're going to get a whole lot better results with a prime lens. But now, keep in mind, that's if you're serious about photography. I mean, don't go out and dump a bunch of money on it if you're just somebody who's going to go out here on a picnic and take a couple of pictures, and then, you know, you're happy with that. So, I mean, keep that in mind, because some of these lenses can go up close to $20,000. So, and with that being said, just because you get a prime lens is not going to make you a better photographer. So that's all on you, and that's your decision. I'm just saying that if you're serious and you like it, people are starting to notice your work, this is the way to go. Okay, get a prime lens over a kit lens. All right, thank you guys. I'll have another video coming up soonish. I'm trying to put some stuff together, and I'm still working on some material. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day and have a great weekend. Bye.